I really hate people who say that reviews are subjective, that you can't make an objective review about something because they're lying. They're just hiding their buyer's remorse. They spent money on this crap game and now they are trying to justify their purchase. The game is objectively bad. There is nothing subjective about pointing out that the AI is mentally deficient. Oh, look, the helicopter is... What the fuck? Look at this AI, man. No, seriously, just look at this AI. Look at this. Look. How are they not ashamed with this game? How are they not ashamed with this product? Like, none of the other Far Cry games had any of this problem. The AI in Far Cry 3 is 100 times better than the AI in Far Cry 6. I don't know what happened. I don't know who messed it up. I don't know what happened, but besides the fact that the AI is so dumb that I was literally next to them and they didn't even notice me. Okay, so I'm finished with the trash cans. And now I need to find more posters to deface. Look how bad the AI is. Look how bad the AI is. Unfucking real. You can actually shoot an AI several times and they will not sound an alarm. You can be in front of them and they will not even notice you. This wasn't the problem in Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4. They know that they messed up with the AI so bad that they have created the AI to become bullet sponges. And yes, you can use different types of bullets in order to penetrate the armor, but the fact remains that they're still bullet sponges. You can kill an enemy and his partners won't even notice that he is missing. This creates for incredibly poor immersion experience. What I'm saying here is not subjective. This is objectively bad. Bugs in games are objective. Stop with the nonsense that you can't criticize a game because all criticism is subjective. If I were to make a review where I'm praising this game and I'm saying it's the best shit ever, no one would say, well, that's just your opinion, that's just subjective. Every single time you hear the subjectiveness argument is when someone points out major flaws with a product that you spend full money on. And yes, that's a problem. You spend full money on for a game that looks like something that came out 4 years ago. It looks almost identical to Far Cry 5. I don't even know what exactly did they improve when it came to the graphics. I don't even know what exactly they added. But back in my day, when I was a kid, this would have been called an expansion pack to Far Cry 5. And they would have charged you half price for it. Now, it's a new game, you have to pay full money for it, and the company gets to cut costs. They get to save money while they're charging you full price for a game that looks almost identical to the previous one. And we're into the era of the new generation of consoles. This game could have taken advantage of the PlayStation 5, could at least have some mind-blowing graphics so I can forget about how dumb the AI is. But we don't get that, so AI is stupid. Gameplay suffers because of it. The graphics looks atrocious. So what is there left? What exactly do we have left? Maybe the gameplay. Maybe the game is a little bit challenging. No, it's not. They actually removed the levels of difficulty. In Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, you actually had hard difficulties. Now you have journalist mode and easy mode. And I'm not saying that games should be hard, but if you're looking for a challenge, if you actually want to play a first-person shooter, you're not going to find this here. I had an helicopter fire at me for more than 5 minutes. I did not die. The only thing that can kill you here are the bugs. Like sometimes you can fall down a little bit off a ledge and the gravity kills you even though you shouldn't. That's pretty much how difficult this game is. You can shoot at guards, they don't sound alarms. You can headshot people and you instantly kill them and the ones around them don't even notice. It takes for them more than 5 minutes to figure out what's going on.
And the game makes you OP as well. It gives you this Supremo, which allows you to take down helicopters by pressing a button. So, if you're the type of person who actually enjoys this, like maybe this is baby's first FPS, then yeah, sure. But if you're a type of person that, I'm not even saying like wants a challenge, but the type of person that actually wants to play a game where you can win or lose, this is not the one for you. This is a walking simulator with a mouse click where you can go pew pew every now and then. It is atrocious. I would say that Life is Strange, the last one, is a better game than this simply because Life is Strange actually does what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to tell you a story. This game, however, is supposed to be an FPS, but even on the highest difficulty curve, it's just atrocious. There is no difficulty in it. There is no way for you to die. There is no way for you to lose. And again, this is because the AI is buggy. This is because the AI is mentally deficient. And on top of that, they also make you as strong as possible from the beginning. They give you access to very strong weapons. They give you access to all of that stuff. So you're supposed to feel like a guerrilla that's fighting an overwhelming force. I was feeling sorry for the enemy. This is not like in Far Cry 3 where you're alone on an island and you're struggling to survive. And you actually get the immersion in the game because the difficulty at least tries to represent that. This is not like Far Cry 1 where you're alone on an island and you're fighting against mutants trying to survive. No, no, no. This is like playing video games back in the 90s with cheat codes. I'm not complaining that the game isn't Dark Souls. I want people to understand that, but there is literally zero challenge. It's like playing football with an empty field and you're just scoring goals. That's not fun. Maybe it is fun for some people, but can I have just some sort of challenge, like anything, okay? Like Doom was a good game because it actually had various difficulty levels for everyone to enjoy. Are you a person that's playing an FPS for the first time? Well, you have the mode there, the easiest mode. Are you a person that has played FPS? You have normal mode. Are you a person that actually wants a challenge? Well, you can play on Nightmare. Are you a video game journalist? Well, I'm sorry, but there's no hope for you. Wasn't that inclusive? It tried to be inclusive, but, you know, God created the video game journalists who can't even pass Cuphead tutorial. So for those type of people, maybe you should watch a Let's Play. Maybe you should watch me playing, because you're clearly incapable of handling a controller. So these are objective criticisms. So cut up with the subjective bullshit. Again, you may say, well, the difficulty is subjective. Yes, which is why you should have an ample array of difficulties for you to pick from. It should be everyone should have a difficulty that they enjoy playing at. It shouldn't just be easy mode. Now, with that said, now we can get into the subjective part, which is the story. I couldn't find for the life of me a single character except the main antagonist that was actually interesting. All of the characters were cringy. All of the characters had dialogue that normal human beings couldn't say in any conversation ever. And if you think my criticism isn't accurate, where are the memes? When you have a good game that has memorable characters and memorable dialogue, you have memes coming out. Where are the memes from this game? I can't find a single one. Do you honestly think that 3 years from now people will remember the name of any of these characters? A game that has good characters, you will remember even years after the game. You will remember Morrigan, you will remember Talizora Vas Normandy, and you're going to remember Vas from Far Cry 3. You're going to remember Ming from Far Cry 4. You will not remember a single one of these assholes. Hell, why did I even say 3 years? I bet people won't remember them 2 months after they play the game. The only way that the developers know how to make strong women is to make them hyper-violent. That is it. They don't know how to make a powerful female character that stands on her own or has an interesting personality or anything like that. No, every single woman in this game is hyper-violent, curses a lot, and is disparaging towards the player.
Must be Daria. Move.
Why is it? Oh my fucking god! Every single woman in Ubisoft games are like this.
No, yeah. Hey man, you just say Maximus Matanzas, the most blessed motherfucking group in Yara.
So I would have done it myself personally, but you know, I couldn't stop crying.
Get out of my way.
I'm Bicho, man.
The
I'm from
fuck you kid.
Mexico.
Get me the fuck out of here. I know you can hear me.
If I let you out, you're gonna behave?
You want more?
Fuck, Italia.
Oh, I thought you wanted to hide like a pussy-ass bitch.
You want to die before we get to America?
Oh, big man, Pablo.
Oh, I'm puking.
Scared this chica by hiding her in a stank-ass swamp.
Fucking puta. Coño. Oh, that's just pork.
And I'm thinking like, okay, why do I want to help these people? What exactly makes me feel immersed into this game when they treat you like this? I suppose the only interesting thing that I personally found in this game, which was a little bit philosophical, and I'm really surprised a progressive company like Ubisoft wanted to put it in, was the fact that every single person around you was shaming you for trying to run away to the United States, trying to run away from your problem. So a progressive company shows the other side of the story of the immigrant that just runs away and leaves everyone behind. They also pointed out that even though you're fighting against the tyrant and you're the guerrilla and you're fighting for the revolution, the people in charge were hyper aware that once the tyrant is gone, you still won't have liberty. It's just that they were the ones that wanted to take power. So you're not even fighting for the good guys. You're fighting for the people that want to take down the tyrants so they can become the tyrants. And I was a little bit impressed, I suppose, with this level of realism that they're putting into the game, because it's absolutely true. You look at the history of mankind, most times, almost all the time actually, when you have a revolution and they're taking down someone that's oppressive, the new guys that come in charge are just as, if not even more so, oppressive. So they actually covered this. But overwhelmingly, I want to say, I played Far Cry 2 recently, and that is such an amazing game compared to this. A game that came decades before, with fewer resources, fewer people working on it, has a much better gameplay, a much better environment, much better AI, much better everything than this piece of crap. And the sad thing is that I think this is the future for Ubisoft. Like, we're going to see all of these games where they stuff a lot of progressive nonsense down your throat so you're blinded by how bad the game actually is. I almost laughed my ass off when I saw a scene with a female soldier who was patting down a guy and she was sexually harassing him.
Is a female soldier harassing a guy? I don't tolerate sexism.
Very friendly. Por favor, I just want to go home.
Is she raping him? You know what? I'm going to let you two lovebirds have at it. I'm not going to interrupt a woman's love conquest.
Does that happen? Ever? Is that ever a case in the history of mankind where a female soldier is putting up a guy against a wall, is patting him while sexually harassing him at the same time? Do you think that happens in the real world? How often does it happen? But that goes to show that the people making these games do not know how to human. They're in their ideological bubble and they're creating these types of games that have absolutely zero immersion, just blowing your mind. 50% of the soldiers, actually no, you know what? More than 50% of the soldiers that I was fighting were women. I don't know what they're trying to say. I don't know what the game is trying to put out there. It's like women are sadistic, that they love fascism, I don't know, maybe that's what they're saying. And by the way, like I'm not even saying that the game is bad because of it or anything, it's just weird. I don't know any military in the world that does like a civilian occupation where you see like 60% women that are just the most, how should I say, oppressive, fascistic, willing to put the boot on a person's neck. I mean, it sounds to me like MGTOW made this game. Like some incel managed to get access to the script and they made this game by making the women as inhumane as possible. But, you know, like, again, this is actually something subjective. Because, yes, you can criticize the game from a subjectivity point of view as well. But what I said in the beginning is 100% objective. Bugs are objective, okay? This shit on the screen right now is objective. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.